In this video, I'll show you how to do the special Warlock questline to change your regular orange and red fire spells into this demonic fel green fire color. This change is purely cosmetic and it affects the appearance of your fire-based spells, including Incinerate, Conflagrate, Burning Rush, Rain of Fire, and Soulfire. So most of these are destruction Warlock spells, but it does also make your Felsteed and Dreadsteed mounts green as well. And keep in mind, you have to unlock this change on each Warlock character you want it on. It is not account-wide, so your Warlock alts won't have it unless you do the questline again on them. And yes, don't worry, it is reversible. You can swap back and forth between the orange-red fire or the green fire. I'll show you how to do that near the end of the video. Now let's get into the questline to unlock this change. The first thing we need to start this questline is an item called Sealed Tome of the Lost Legion. You can simply buy this off the auction house. It can be a bit expensive though and might vary depending on your server, but honestly I think it's worth it because otherwise you'd have to go and farm it yourself, and it's a pretty rare drop that could take you hours or days depending on your luck. But if you do want to try farming it yourself, it can drop from any of the rare spawns on the Isle of Thunder in Pandaria. And note, this item will only drop for Warlock characters, so make sure that's who you bring. To get there, take the portal to the Jade Forest, then fly to Townlong Steps. For Horde, come to this location on the map, and if you've been to the Isle of Thunder before, you can use this portal to get there, but if it's your first time, you'll have to talk to this NPC and she'll fly you over. And for Alliance, come to this location on the map that's right nearby, and again, you'll either find the portal or you'll have to talk to this NPC if it's your first time. Once you arrive on your faction's boat, you can use the teleporter thing to get to the actual island, and now you're just going to run around and kill rare spawns. The Silver Dragon add-on helps a lot with this as it marks the rares locations on the map, and it will also pop up with this notification when one has spawned. But like I said, this could take a while to get, and honestly I just hate running around the Isle of Thunder because you can't use flying mounts here, so it's just super slow and annoying, and I even went around for like 40 minutes and killed about 10 rares and had no luck, and I was just done with it. But I was mostly just getting footage for the video and I was always intending to buy it, but just be aware it might just be a frustrating experience and you might just want to go buy it from the auction house. Anyways, once you've got your Sealed Tome of the Lost Legion, next you're going to create a Healthstone and then right click on the tome to combine them together. This will turn the tome into the Codex of Xerath, and you'll see in the chat that you've already automatically accepted the quest An Unusual Tome. But you can go ahead and click on the actual quest pop-up to actually read the quest, and you'll see that basically it wants us to speak to our companions to learn more. So go ahead and start summoning your Warlock pets, talk to your Imp, your Voidwalker, Fel Hunter, and finally your Succubus. And your Succubus will be the one that actually completes this part of the quest. And by the way, from what I've read online, it actually does have to be your female succubus for this to work. So if you're using the male version, the incubus, pretty sure that doesn't work. So if you need to change it, visit the barbershop to do so. But back to where we were with our succubus and completing the quest. And I just want to note that this actually bugged out for me. And from what I read online, it's common that this bugs out. So if it's not letting you turn it in, like it's showing that you completed it, but it's not letting you actually complete it and move on to the next step. I was troubleshooting a bunch of different things for a while. I was reading online stuff like try changing your spec, try talking to your demon trainer and abandoning your succubus to get a new succubus name and try to turn it in again. A bunch of crazy stuff, but what ultimately ended up working for me is just abandoning the quest, and then you can click on that Codex of Xerath in your bag to get the quest again. I was at first nervous to abandon the quest because I thought that that would mean that I would have to go buy another Tome of the Lost Legion for like 18k gold, but it was fine. So if it bugs out for you and is not letting you turn it in, just abandon the quest, get it again, and re-talk to your Voidwalker and your Succubus again, and that should work. Sorry for the long, drawn-out explanations and everything, but as soon as you're able to turn in that An Unusual Tome quest, next you're going to want to head into the Cleft of Shadows in the Drag for the Horde. And if you're Alliance, you'll go into the Slaughtered Lamb in the Mage District. But of course, I'll be showing everything from the Horde perspective, but it's basically the exact same thing for the Alliance. So once you've turned in the An Unusual Tome quest, next you'll get the quest Reader for the Dead Tongue, which wants you to talk to this Warlock trainer. Then you'll get another quest called A Tale of Six Masters, which wants you to read this book. You'll turn that in, and next you'll get this quest called Seeking the Soulstones. For this, we're going to head to Outland to find 4 Soulstones located in Hellfire, Netherstorm, Blade's Edge, and Shadowmoon. To get to Outland, head to your portal room and take the portal to Shatrath. Then fly to Hellfire from there. Now that you've arrived in Hellfire, it's time to start gathering our 4 Soulstones, starting with the first one, the Hellfire Soulstone. You'll find it in the Felspark Ravine near Thrallmar. Here is the exact location and the coordinates. Next, we'll be heading to Netherstorm to find our second Soulstone. You'll find the Soulstone located here in the Ruins of Farallon. Next, we'll be heading to Blade's Edge Mountains for the third Soulstone, and you'll find the Soulstone located here at Vimgol's Circle. And finally, fly all the way over to Shadowmoon, and you'll find the last Soulstone located here at the Altar of Damnation near the Death Forge. And now that we've gotten all 4 Soulstones, you'll see the quest turn and pop up, and you can go ahead and complete it. The next quest is called Seek the Signal, and we're going to be heading to the Black Temple, which is also here in Shadowmoon. So fly over there, but note we don't want to go into the actual raid instance entrance. Instead, when you fly over there, you'll see this quest pop up again, turn it in, and accept the next quest, Infiltrating the Black Temple. Then just keep flying straight over to this main gate where you'll find this skull. Click on it to enter the temple, and this instance thing will pop up. Now we just need to make our way further in, but you'll want to avoid these NPCs with the red circles around them because they will stun you for like 30 seconds, so just go around the side here, wait for any patrolling guys, and when you get to the stairs, I just killed the guy in the middle here because there seems to be no way around them. Then head up to the gate, and we want to come to this spot on the map, but again, you might have to wait for some patrolling guys, and here we'll pick up this scroll on the ground, and we'll also meet up with Akama. He has a bit of talking to do, and then just click through these and then follow Akama. Once you get to the Halls of Anguish, we have this pretty annoying maze thing to do. Basically, there's these invisible walls, and we're going to want to use our Eye of Killrogg to navigate it, and you'll use it to scout out the maze for you and make your way forward little bits at a time, because if you run into the walls or accidentally bump them, it'll spawn these hungering soul fragments, and they do a ton of damage and can kill you. And if you die, you have to start all the way from the beginning again. So I'll be showing you in a moment how to actually navigate your character through and give you some tips, but I also just wanted to include this footage of me taking my eye all the way through the maze just so you have an idea of what it looks like, and also maybe you can use it as a reference to guide your character through it just by following my eye's route and pausing it to catch up, etc. And now here's how to actually do it in action, and also some tips to make it easier. Before you get started, dismiss your pet because they can bump into the walls and get you killed. Second of all, make some Healthstones for just in case you accidentally take damage and need to heal. Then, when you're ready, start using your Eye of Killrogg and slowly progressing through the maze. You can just do this the whole way through little bits at a time, but also I read a tip about how you can actually use the raid markers and place them on the ground to help guide you, almost like a little reference path. So feel free to use a combination of the eye and the raid markers. And another tip, I didn't even do this until the very end, but you can also use your demonic gateway, so that might be a good way to skip a lot of this maze if you want to try using it earlier in the process. But once you finally get to the end and come down this ramp, you are now free. Then just go ahead and run into the middle of this room and you'll have a bit of dialogue to watch, but once that finishes, you'll just kill the Essence of Order and then make your way back and fight through these demons, or just go around them where you can until you meet up with Akama again. Then you'll think you're gonna follow Akama, but actually your companion, who I think is supposed to be your imp, is gonna be like, yo, come with me instead and let's go steal some treasure. And then basically you're just gonna make your way through the Den of Mortal Delights, and you have this 8-minute timer to steal treasure off the floor, and this part is totally optional. You can pick stuff up if you want, or just ignore it and keep running through. You will be able to make a bit of gold from grabbing stuff, but it's nothing too crazy. And once you get to the end, you'll turn in the quest at this treasure chest and it'll convert any treasure you picked up into vendor trash that you can sell. I sold all of mine later and I think I made like 300 gold or something. But when you're done turning that in, just head through this door and make your way up the stairs to the temple summit, and we're pretty much close to done. Just click on this demonic soul well and you'll witness some final RP dialogue stuff, and then you'll defeat Kanrethad, or however you say his name, and at this point you can click on him to basically absorb some of his demonic fel essence, and boom, that's what makes your fire spells green. So now go ahead and turn in your quest, and Jubeka will let you know that you can find her anytime at the Altar of Damnation in Shadowmoon to switch your spells back to normal if you want. So at this point we are all done. You can hearth out or right click your portrait to leave the instance. To finish out the video, I just wanted to show you exactly where you can find her in case you want to switch your spells. So she is located right here, and you can talk to her to change it back for 500 gold, and then if you want it to be green again, you can just come up to this demon guy again and click on him to absorb his essence. And that is everything. I hope you enjoyed the video and found it helpful. Let me know if you have any questions, and I will see you guys in a future video.